Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. It is my pleasure here at the beautiful campus of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, NJIT, at the Jim Wise Theater to introduce my colleague and friend, Mike Schneider, who is an icon, someone who we've all looked up to in this business for a long time. Before we talk about On the Trail, which is a terrific PBS series that has premiered, we'll talk about it in a second. Give me the other networks, come on.
Which? You mean where I've been?
Yeah.
It's easier to list the ones where I haven't been.
ABC,
NBC, CBS Local, Channel 2, anchoring the news back in the 80s, Fox, before Ailes, and a little bit after.
Look at you. It's pre-Ailes and after Ailes.
Exactly. I wasn't hired by him. We'll get into that later.
Leave it alone, Mike.
Yeah. And Bloomberg Television as well.
Absolutely. And Mike is here to talk to us. People know Mike from his terrific work on public television. But Mike is here to talk about this terrific series, the pilot we're about to see, On the Trail. Describe On the Trail real quick before we take a look at the clip.
Basically, it's a glimpse at the near wilderness that exists at our doorstep here in the tri-state area, and how you can see some extraordinary things and have extraordinary experiences by just getting out there on the trail. Your
idea, you came up with this.
Yeah.
Why?
Because my wife one day looked at me and said, I was looking at a lifetime of getting away from what we do for a living. And my biggest getaway was going out into nature and just losing myself for a while with her. And then she developed this love of the Appalachian Trail, all things Appalachian Trail. She'd read these trail blogs that would come in from the people doing the through hikes, these folks that would go from Georgia to Maine or vice versa. And she would read the stories and these experiences and these amazing people. And she'd say, this is some good stuff. And I'd say, yeah, somebody should do this as a show. And she looked at me and she said, why don't you? And I thought, yeah, why don't I? That's how it all came to be.
It's on, the pilot aired on NJTV, the public television station here in New Jersey, WNET, WLAW out in Long Island. Let's take a look at On the Trail with Mike Schneider.
We set off. Many have walked these paths, but to most, their wonders remain unknown. Around every bend, something new. A story from the past, a fellow hiker to meet. From the country's most recognizable trail to local landmarks, there's something out here for everyone. And it's closer than you think. I'm Mike Schneider. I hope you'll join me on the trail.
What are we looking at, Mike?
Delaware Water Gap, Mount Tammany, which is the highest peak over there. As you look out over the Delaware River, about 1,300 feet below you, across to Mount Mincy in Pennsylvania, people have no idea New Jersey looks like that. Even New Jerseyans, in many cases, have no idea that it's not that far away, and all you have to do is just put on a good pair of sneakers or hiking shoes, and you get to experience that. And once you do a trail like that and see, I mean, you got eagles and buzzards and falcons flying below you. Once you experience stuff like that, especially if you have kids, it's just unbelievable. It's life transforming.
Now, you and I were just talking right before we got in the air. Mike and I have known each other for years, worked together for a long time. We talked about the idea of kids and our teenagers who, let's just say, way too much time on the video games and the digital world and their heads down and not looking up.
Yep.
Part of your goal was to say, hey, enough. Let's get out there, live your life out there, not here, right?
Absolutely. And one of the reasons, I mean, once again, I have my wife to thank for that. She's a pediatrician. And in her office, in her practice over all these years, she's seen kids spend more and more time inside, and more kids having problems with obesity, diabetes developing far earlier in numbers that are shocking. And so anything you can do to get your kids out, I know you're a big believer in this as well, into the fresh air, into nature. You know, why live virtual reality when you can live reality?
The other thing that's so fascinating to me, Mike, is because your career is so impressive, because you've accomplished so much, I've always thought about this. For those of us who have decided to make this our professional life, we think, okay, this is what we're going to do, and everyone comes to you and says, Mike, how do I do it? How do I succeed in this business? Is it fair to say that the reality is you have to keep evolving, keep changing, and there is no secret to it, like this is the thing you do? Is it? I know it sounds complicated, but you're constantly evolving.
You have to. I mean, and sometimes you do it against your own inclinations. You know, you get into a business like I did so long ago, like we did, and you know, you have a goal. I want to be the anchorman at Channel 2.
You're the anchorman.
And I was, but then you say, oh, what do I do next? Because if you have that kind of fire in your belly, it's always that, okay, what comes next? And that's part of why I did this show as well, because that can be both inspirational, but it also can be very dangerous, because in my case, and I can't generalize, in my case, I got so hooked on this need to succeed and to take it to the next level, and to where do I go from here? And I got there so young, what else is there in life, that I don't know that I necessarily appreciated everything, because I was too busy running. I'm a former sprinter. I wanted to go fast. I wanted the race to end and start the next race. And when I evolved to this level, I realized I could actually take a deep breath and enjoy exactly being in the moment.
You know, it's so interesting. I don't think people can appreciate, and I want you to help them appreciate, hiking is not something you said, oh, I think I'll do this now. It's been a part of your life.
I started doing it, my wife and I would do some casual hikes during vacations years ago. When I was working in Miami, we'd do stuff down there, but we'd go out west and do some trails as well. It wasn't until later on we came back and we moved back to Jersey back in the mid-'80s. I had some friends who were also very much interested in the outdoors, and we started going out on the trails. And the more we did it, I talk about this in the show. I went along basically because I had a pal who was a drinking buddy, and we would go out, it'd be an excuse afterwards to throw back a couple of beers and tell the stories, that sort of thing. But then I realized it wasn't about the social stuff after the fact. The social stuff was occurring out there. And I guess 2 decades plus later, it became more than just what do I want to do on the weekends? I guess we'll go hiking. It's I can't wait for the weekends so I can go hiking, to the point where I moved to a place where trails are out my back door.
But think about this for a second, Mike. We're taping right here in the heart of Newark, New Jersey, on the campus of NJIT. We're part of this University Heights section, NJIT, Rutgers, Seton Hall, University Law School, Essex County College, Berkeley University. Everyone's here, right? They say, well, we're in an urban setting. What are you doing talking to me about hiking? You say?
Your trails are in your backyard. If you take out a map of New Jersey and take a look at all the green stuff on that map, you'll find that there are parks filled with trails nearby. You don't have to go far at all to find a good local trail. Jersey has done a wonderful job of developing parks. New York State, if you live on the other side of the border, a wonderful job of developing parks as well. So it's all there. And plus, if you just saw stuff from the Delaware Water Gap, that's from here. It's an hour and a half at the most, and that's with traffic.
That's with traffic.
Right.
Where do you want to see the series go, Mike?
The goal is basically, we have this is ground zero for us. We're going to show Jersey in a way that it hasn't been shown before, and the whole tri-state area as well. But the idea is to take the next step is to, I've already shot video, my wife and I have, from Georgia to Maine, increments of the Appalachian Trail, to expose people to what it's like as you do this. And you don't have to be gung-ho, do the entire trail. You can do segments of it. But sometimes, we're talking about the kids. Put the kids in the car, drive to Virginia if you want, and do sections of Skyline Drive and the trail off of that, and you'll see what I mean. Or better yet, just go to Bear Mountain in New York, or go up to a Waiwayanda in Jersey. Get out into those places like that.
Last question, Mike. The other part of television is that we always are raising money to do what we have to do.
I've heard.
Yes, that brings a smile to your face. And again, it's a big part of my job, and any one of us who are part of this. You mind if I plug again?
I would be appreciative, yes.
It is called On the Trail with our great friend from PBS. So many other great jobs before that in broadcasting, but he continues to do great work. Mike Schneider, On the Trail. Check it out. And we wish you nothing but the best, partner.
Thank you, my friend.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back from NJIT at the Jim Wise Theater. Great stuff. Right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by NJIT, TD Bank, PSC&G, the New Jersey Education Association, Century 21 Construction, Verizon, and by the North Ward Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been produced in cooperation with FiOS One News.